Hi everyone, welcome to Shell Sugar Rush and welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be sharing with you this adorable under the sea sheet cake, and it is going to have a Megalodon on top, which was requested by the birthday boy. So make sure you stick around to the end to see the finished cake. So we're going to begin here with some black fondant that I've rolled out to cut out the birthday message for the birthday boy. This is going to go on the actual cake board outside of the cake, and I'm just using some simple alphabet cutters here. They have a little handle on them, so they're just very convenient. If you've seen my videos before, you've seen me use these same little cutters for a lot of my lettering that I do. So I'm just going to finish up this birthday message. And now we're going to move on to some seashells that are going to go on the cake. And here I have a seashell mold. And I think I just picked this up at Michael's a while back. But I'm just using some various colors here and just molding some of those seashells, like the starfish and a couple others, just for that decor on the top of the cake. And you can see here, this is a pretty simple process. So I'm just going to finish these up, and then I'm going to just grab a plate to sit these on and put them aside until we're ready to put them on the top of our cake. So for our cake, I have actually baked 2 vanilla sheet cakes here. If I'm doing a sheet cake, I always like for it to be tall so that I can put that icing in between the layers and have a good proportion of icing to cake. So here you see I've cut off the top of that first layer, put a little icing on the cake board, and then put that first layer bottom down and then filled in, and then put that second layer that I also cut the top off of to level it out, put that second layer bottom up. And you see here I just put, with some of those shavings from the top, I put a piece under each corner of sheet cake. If you've ever done a sheet cake and you've done layers on it, you notice that sometimes your corners will kind of dip down a little bit. So to avoid that, I always put some of those shavings in between the 2 layers on each corner. And that really helps to keep the cake very level and keep those corners from dipping down. So now I'm just using my blue American buttercream and putting a nice crumb coat on this cake, and then we'll chill it for a minute. So our cake has been chilling for a minute in the refrigerator, and we're ready to do that final coat. So with that same American buttercream, I am going to apply just a generous final coat around this cake. And I like to start with the sides there. I did put a pretty good bit on the top, when I did the crumb coat. So I'm more focused on the sides at this point. So I want them to be nice and smooth all the way around. I'm using a plastic scraper here. I do prefer this one, when I'm going around the sides, and just getting that real nice and smooth, and then I'll go back and focus on the top. And with the top, I do like to occasionally dip my spatula into some hot water. What this does actually is it gives a little deeper color to the areas where that moisture hits the icing, which gave this cake a nice underwater effect. And now I've taken some of that same American buttercream and colored it a little darker with the blue, kind of to get it to a royal blue. And I've got it in a piping bag here with just a large star tip, and I'm giving it a shell border around the bottom and the top, just to go along with our underwater theme here. So I'm going to finish up this border, and then we're going to put our decorations on. Okay, and now our cake is ready for our decorations. So here I'm starting by rolling out some green fondant. I didn't do this part in the beginning, but this is going to be for our, I guess we'll call it our seaweed on the cake. And here you see I've rolled out a little of fondant, and I'm just taking a ruler and making some long triangular shapes. And then what I will do is hold these by each end and just twist it, just to give it that kind of spiral look. And I'm making them in different lengths, so that I can really get that seaweed look on the bottom of the ocean there. So now I'm going to put a few of these down, and then I am going to grab that plate that I put the other decorations on that I made earlier, and just go ahead and do the placement for the different seashells that are going to go on the, the bottom as well. And then I am going to begin putting the letters on the cake board for that birthday message for the birthday boy. And to do this with the letters, I'm just going to lay them out. If you've seen my other videos, you kind of know I like to lay mine out and kind of make sure that the positioning is good. And then I'll go back with just a brush and a little bit of water and just dab a little water on the back of each of them and make sure they're, adhered to the cake board, just so that they won't move around as the cake's being moved or transported anywhere. And of course, any undersea cake needs some bubbles. So I'm also going to be taking that little bit of the original white buttercream that I did not color and putting that in a piping bag just with a circle tip, just a small, like 4 or 5 circle tip, and putting some bubbles going up from kind of big to small randomly on the cake, just to, like I said, give it more of that underwater look. And here you go, our cake is done, aside from the Megalodon that's going to be going on top. So be sure and check out those pictures at the end of the video here. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload more cakes in the future. See you next time.